George, what do you mean you're getting married? Why didn't you tell me? Anyway, congratulations, bro. I knew you would do it eventually.
Louis, thanks, brother. I did send you an invite, but it must have got lost in the mail. I'll check on that later.
I could barely believe it when Mary told me. She seemed just as shocked as me about her little brother finally getting married. Neither of us has really wrapped our heads around it yet.
Don't be too mean now. Good to see Mary hasn't changed. Of course I was gonna get married. I'm human too, you know? I can also fall in love.
I don't know, man. None of us really took you for the kind of person to actually get married. I didn't even know you wanted to.
I always did. I've always wanted to build a family of my own and be the man of a household. And part of that is giving my fiancée the perfect fairy tale wedding.
Wow, I guess I read you completely wrong. My impression of you was totally wrong. I apologize. So, why didn't you get married sooner? You know, it's kinda late. You didn't just get desperate and agree to marry the first person that would have you, right?
Excuse me? I'm not so sure what you're hinting at.
Oh, George, come on now. You're almost 40. It's not normal to be single for that long. It's actually quite sad.
I'm only 34.
34 is practically 40. It took you this long to get married? God, George, don't you see the problem? Almost everyone else we know is married at this point.
What am I supposed to do about that? Build a time machine?
I'm not that stupid. I know you can't do that. I'm just saying that getting married to the first person who will have you just because you already have one foot in the grave won't make you happy. What's wrong with her anyway? Is she ugly, or is she like 50?
There is nothing wrong with her. She's 29 and she is absolutely beautiful. I know a lot of people do get married in their 20s, but I always knew that I wanted to save money before starting a family. That way I can make sure my wife and children have the best possible lives they could ever have. I don't think that's weird or a bad thing at all. A lot of my friends got married later on too, some even older than me.
I mean, I'm not surprised considering how you are. I bet all your friends are just like you, antisocial and aesthetically challenged.
Louis, don't you think you're being a bit rude right now? Was this conversation not supposed to be about me getting married?
Yeah, it is. I just can't believe you're finally getting married. How long have we known each other now? Me and Mary got married when she was 18. That was 20 years ago. When we were your age, we already had 4 children.
I know, and you never let me forget. I also remember that Mary had to drop out of college and you had to get 2 jobs so that you could look after the baby.
A woman doesn't need any fancy degrees. Women are supposed to be mothers. What good did a degree do you anyway? You got a PhD and you're only just getting married now? On top of that, I probably make even more money than you. Aren't you sad about that?
I don't really care. There are so many different people in the world. We all have our different callings. What's right for you might not be right for me, you know?
It's not about what's right, it's about what's normal. Most people are married by 25. But then there's you, nearly 40 and just finally getting around to it. If you're a woman, you'd be completely off the market by now. You'd be a crazy cat lady spinster. It is sad and I do feel bad for you, if I'm being honest.
I really don't care how you feel. You're wasting your energy feeling bad for me.
Do you not feel sorry for any children you have? By the time they're 20, you'll be in a care home. The fact you actually wanted to get married makes it even sadder.
This is a happy day for me. I'm happy. There is nothing to be sad about.
Whatever. I'm glad you finally got what you wanted. I hope you enjoy your married life. Just make sure you don't pass away before you can walk down the aisle, old man.
Hey George, how are you doing? I can't wait for the wedding. I can't believe it's next month already. Mom can't stop talking about it.
Yeah, next month, that's right. We're keeping it very private and simple, so organizing it has been very easy. so we've made all the arrangements a bit earlier than what's usually done.
That makes sense. Those big fancy weddings are for younger people with more stamina. It's a shame you're not having a proper wedding.
A proper wedding?
Hey, I'm not one to judge here. Well, you know how weddings are usually done, right? Usually the family has rules to play, but you haven't talked to us about anything.
Roles? What exactly are you talking about?
I kept waiting for you to call, but it never came, so I've saved you the trouble and contacted you myself. I am trying to save you as much trouble as I possibly can.
No, I really don't get it. You're gonna have to give me some hints as to what you're referring to. I really have no clue what you're talking about. Please, just come out and say it.
Do you really not know what I'm talking about? Are you forgetting one of the biggest rules of the wedding? I mean, are you really not going to have one of my girls as the ring bearer?
A ring bearer? Is that what this is all about? Yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
What? Don't tell me you forgot. Or do you just not know what a ring bearer is? I know you and your wife are getting old, but I didn't think you were already starting to lose your memory.
Stop being stupid, Mary. Of course I know what a ring bearer is.
Do you really? Well, explain it then.
It's the child who brings the ring up to the couple in the ceremony.
So you do know. What's your excuse for not messaging me about it then? You must be considering one of my children, right? Can you just not decide which one to give the role to? What about all of them? They could bring it down together.
I'm confused. Why do you think I'm going to ask one of your children to be the ring bearer?
Because I'm your sister, and my children are your nephews and nieces. Who else would you ask? Since I'm in a good mood and there is a special occasion, I'll forgive you for taking so long to ask me, but because it took you so long, none of my children have the right outfits. So I'll completely forgive you if you buy all their clothes for the wedding. Around $5,000 should be enough to cover it all.
Hold on a second. There is no way their clothes will cost that much. $5,000 is ridiculous. Not even my suit cost that much. And I'm not sure what exactly you're forgiving me for. I didn't do anything wrong.
I have 4 children, and I have to buy my own clothes as well. I know we're family and all that, but at the end of the day, we'd still be lending you one of our children. I can't just give you my children's time for free. Time is money. There's always a price to pay.
Isn't your youngest only 4? And not to be mean, but her time shouldn't have a price on it yet. I'm really not sure about what to say about all of this. I think you sound crazy, Mary.
Wait, let me finish first. I don't think I'm asking for too much. They're going to need to be photographed or filmed, right? Between the clothes and the image and likeness rights, I'd say you won't find too many better deals than what we're giving you.
Look, I appreciate your offer, but we won't be in any need of a ring bearer. But I do appreciate the sentiment.
What do you mean you don't need a ring bearer? What kind of wedding would it be without a ring bearer?
Even if we did want a ring bearer, we just don't have that much money. It's a bit crazy to ask that much, to be honest. The wedding is important to us, but it's not the most important thing in our life right now. We just don't have the budget to put $5,000 into your pocket.
Fine. How about $3,000 instead? That's not as much, right? Their clothes won't be as nice, so your pictures will be disappointing, but that's your loss, not mine.
No, I wouldn't even give you $300, let alone $3,000. Actually, I was being serious about not having a ring bearer.
What is wrong with you? Do you hate your family? If you're going to be like that, then we just won't come at all.
Mary, did you not read the invite when you replied? We're having a child-free wedding. No children are allowed to come at all. We made that very clear. If we're not having any children in the wedding, then it doesn't matter if you're going to try lend us a boy or a girl. I did mention that it was supposed to be a simple affair after all. Do you get what I'm saying? No children and no ring bearer. Especially not if it's going to cost more than my own clothes.
What the hell does that mean? You're not letting us bring our babies? You're a horrible, horrible person!
It's for their own sake, Mary. What child wants to sit and listen to a priest talk for over an hour?
You're so selfish. And here I was trying to do you a favor and lend you one of our kids for the wedding. We definitely won't be coming to your wedding now.
You didn't read the invite at all then, did you? I literally did not even ask, and I've already explained why.
Fine then, have it your way.
I intend to.
I won't come, and I am going to tell the whole family not to come either. If you don't want your entire side of the wedding to be empty, apologize to me now.
Apologize for what? I haven't done anything wrong. Everyone else read the invite and knows it's child-free. It was that way from the start. We even arranged a babysitter for the hotel if people can't find cover. We just know kids won't enjoy the wedding. I definitely wouldn't have if I was a baby.
You are so selfish. How do you think my children will feel now I have to tell them their uncle hates them so much he won't let them go to his wedding? I've already told them they could go get some nice clothes and go.
If you're that desperate, they can come to the reception, but I don't think they'll enjoy being around all those drunk adults. It's an open bar, so people will probably drink a lot. And the menu my fiancé chose is full of food I know children won't eat.
What? You didn't even choose a menu my children can eat? I can't believe you. What did my children do to make you hate them?
Nothing at all. It's just our personal preference not to have children at our wedding. If you'd have actually read the invite, we could have talked about this earlier.
Don't try to blame this on me. You're going to regret this. Just you watch.
Hey bro, how's it going? Your wedding's today, right? Are you free now? I need to talk to you.
Yeah, what do you need? I haven't got a lot of time, so please just keep it short.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I really hate to spring this on you last minute, but we've decided that we actually want to go to your wedding.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, I know it's pretty short notice. Mary's been really upset since you fell out, so I thought the best way to cheer her up would be to bring her to your wedding. Especially since it's an open bar. Who doesn't love a free drink, right?
Right, yeah, I got it.
I just want to make sure that you are made aware of that. We'll be there as soon as possible, so please just try and stall the wedding as long as you can. We're just about to set off now.
If you'd hold up for one more thing. Did you ever even want to come?
Do you really want to know that? You might not like it. I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? If you gave it a little thought, you'd actually know how I feel. It's just that it's a wedding for my brother-in-law. Going just seems to be a waste of time. Especially because he's an old man getting married to the first woman that would have him.
You're saying that you don't see any point in attending?
Well, yeah, the trouble of getting the 7 of us there in the first place makes my head spin just thinking about it. If we had our transportation costs covered, things would be different. And then on top of all of that, there won't even be any food there for the children after the ceremony. Just going is a waste of time and money.
That's a pretty harsh way to frame going to your brother-in-law's wedding. Typically, people don't do a whole cost-benefit analysis over these things.
The fact that we have to get you a gift too when we didn't ask you to get married? I hate to tell you this, but unlike a late bloomer like you, our household is full of children and we need every penny we have. We really just don't have anything to spare. Times are tough, I'm sure you understand. But my wife said you hate children or something. She sounded crazy when she said it, so I'm not really sure what she meant, but anyway, you won't mind if we come without a gift, right?
Right.
It really is quite the headache to manage the finances of a household with 5 children in it. But what can you do? They make every day quite a raucous adventure. Oh, I guess this must sound like I'm bragging to someone who just finally managed to get married.
No, that's not what I was thinking at all.
Oh, good then. At any rate, that's what I think. But I want to make my wife happy, so we're setting off now. Make sure you don't start without us.
It's weird because the wedding was yesterday.
What?
So with regards to you all not showing up, I think that will be just fine. Most people didn't even notice you weren't there. So you got your wish in the end, anyway. Anyhow, I'm not really sure what all of that was about, so you can go back home now.
What?
I should be going. I have to start getting ready for our honeymoon. So if you'll excuse me.
Hey, wait just a damn minute. What do you mean it was yesterday?
It's exactly as it sounds. I'm pretty sure it said so on the invitation. I know Mary only read half of it, but I was sure she'd at least read the date.
Wait a second. Oh, you're right. It was yesterday. Mary put the wrong day on the calendar.
But since it seems that you didn't want to attend anyways, I'm not really sure what the problem is. Mary did say that she didn't want to come too. Either way you cut it, the end result is all the same. Now then, I do have to go.
Wait, I'm not done yet. Even if the end result is all the same, it still matters how you go about it. You should have at least asked if she changed her mind. She's your sister.
And what about it?
Why would you have your wedding without your sister? We're family. Don't you think it's a bit rude?
Whether it be friends or family, I made sure everyone who said they were coming a month ago knew what the date was. You guys were literally the only people who were invited that didn't come. I didn't remind Mary because I didn't want you to ruin my day.
Ruin your day?
Yes, referring to how you all conduct yourselves. Look, it's great that you have such a large family, but not a single one of you can behave yourselves.
Oh, you're being ridiculous.
I've been subjected to enough end-of-your-family gatherings to know how your family celebrates. The children can't be quiet and eat their food, and they don't apologize when they punch or kick others, and they throw a hissy fit at the drop of a hat when they don't get what they want. They're practically the dictionary definition of a monster family.
They're children. That's how they all are. When you have children of your own, you'll understand how they really are.
I don't have any, that's true, but our parents and relatives do, and everyone is fed up with how you lot conduct yourselves. Your children truly have no manners. And you and Mary do nothing to correct them. You just say they're only children, so we should just let them do what they want.
Oh, so you're saying it's all my fault?
If you don't share at least some of the blame, then whose fault is it? And it's not just our family who have pointed this out either. Multiple friends who are busy raising their own children have said as much as well. I've heard they're even avoiding you all because they're worried your kids might be a bad influence on their families.
What friends? What are you talking about?
I have a number of friends who also got married early and already have children. And, as it happens, their children are attending the same school as yours.
They are?
Yes, and whether it be around the neighborhood or at school, it seems that your children have garnered a reputation for being delinquents. Breaking things, throwing things, and injuring others are apparently daily occurrences. Even the teachers at school talk about them in terms of being problem children.
We are raising them with a hands-off approach. We wouldn't want to be accused of being helicopter parents. So, while some of what people say about them may be true now, that's just a phase and I'm sure they'll grow up to be just fine.
I don't want to impose on what is clearly a matter between you and Mary, and frankly, I don't even think that approach is necessarily wrong. But I have to strike a balance between my life and the chaotic elements in it, and that means a degree of distance between us. And in this instance, that meant not letting children at my wedding. I hope you'll understand.
So that's it, is it? You think you can come up with some convoluted reason that justifies this? This is just awful, George. Do you know how embarrassing it is for us not to be at that wedding?
Even if I hypothetically did remind you, it's just a waste of time and money, right? You said you didn't have any intention of attending either way. So I just don't see what it is that you're upset about. Again, I really must be going.
Hey, George. You're such a terrible brother.
Hey, can you please stop messaging me? Me and my wife are enjoying a really lovely dinner before we go on our honeymoon. We can have this conversation later.
I can't believe you had the wedding without me. I've been looking at all your friends' social media accounts all day. You had a huge feast and danced all night.
We did. It was so much fun. But I really am too busy to talk about it right now. I'll send you my pictures when we get back.
Don't you dare do that! If you could just see how mad I am at you right now.
Mad? About what?
First, it was about you not giving any of my kids a role in the wedding. But then in the end, you had someone else's child do it anyways? What happened to excluding children from the ceremony?
Oh, you're still caught up on that? Well, what happened is simple. I asked a friend and had her daughter fill the role, and she did a wonderful job, might I add. And I only meant that I wouldn't ask you. I never ruled out having one, period.
Quit it with the damn lies. You said you weren't having any children at your wedding. So you gave your friend the 2K instead of us? What? Did you just do it out of spite? And that was just a deal I was cutting for you. I bet you paid out even more than that in the end.
Where is this talk of money coming from? Today of all days, I wish you just dropped the talk of money. And I obviously didn't pay anyone anything. Most normal people volunteer to be ring bearers for free because they like the people getting married. I did have a little something prepared for her to give as a gift though, which seemed appropriate. And we originally planned not to have children, but I thought about it after I realized your children weren't coming. Your kids were the only ones I was really worried about.
I can't believe you talk about your own flesh and blood like that. If you're going to have a ring bearer, it's only right that you let a family member do it. And when they ask for a little money in return, you certainly don't lie to them just to save a buck.
The money wasn't even the main reason that I turned down your offer.
And what about that banquet? That's odd. You were the one that said that the food wouldn't be to our tastes.
I just said that we weren't doing anything formal. Again, it seems that you had somehow managed to misunderstand me. And since everyone was so kind as to attend, I did think it was appropriate to have a little something prepared for them.
Anyway, we need you to hold the whole wedding all over again. And, as an apology, you should give us money so we can get clothes. Do you know how short notice this is?
What on earth are you talking about? Why would we have the wedding again? It was perfect, partly because you weren't there.
Why? It's my right, is it not? I am the older sister of the groom. I have a right to attend the wedding. It makes no sense for me and my family not to be there.
Where is this coming from? You were the one who said that you had no interest in attending in the first place. You went on and on about how I was going to regret this. In the end, I only regret inviting you in the first place.
This isn't about what you want, and it doesn't matter how it makes you feel. This is about what's right, and I intend to make things right once and for all. I trust my presence alone will serve in place of any obligatory gifts. So there you have it. It's settled. Prepare to redo the whole ceremony, and we will be in need of a table and food.
Whatever, I'm over putting up with this. Do whatever you want.
George, what is this? Let us in. Why aren't they letting us in? There must be some kind of mistake because the staff here won't let us into the wedding.
What? There isn't any wedding.
Of course there is. Mary said that you were going to hold another ceremony so we could join. And there's clearly an event going on right now. So tell these people to let us in. Tell them that we're part of the family of the groom. And tell them that we rushed over to celebrate the wedding.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm at the airport right now. You're trying to crash someone else's wedding. You should go home before they call the police.
But it says the groom's name is George. That's your name.
There's a lot of people called George. It's not an unusual name. It's probably just a coincidence. Now hurry up and go home. You're probably embarrassing yourself.
Why are you being so horrible to us? What did we do to deserve this? It was a long trip to get here, and we did it all to celebrate you.
I already told you the wedding was over. I have no clue why you think we could even arrange a second one in 2 hours.
What the hell has gotten into you? Is that how you treat someone who's traveled such a long way for your sake? Are you really gonna give the cold shoulder to your family who just wants to celebrate your wedding? Do you have any idea the amount of bad karma you're bringing upon yourself?
If you want to talk about bad karma, I think you should be the one who's worrying, Louis. And you talk as if we're still family, but I'm not so sure about that anymore.
Huh? We're still family as long as I'm married to Mary.
And that is exactly what I mean, Louis. You and Mary are divorced, aren't you?
Divorced? Where did you hear that?
That's not quite right. It wasn't just a divorce, was it? You two were actually just faking being divorced so that you could benefit from government child support.
That is quite the accusation.
Well, it would be quite the crime if it was true. But legally speaking, your fake divorce is the same as a legal divorce, is it not? So officially, you aren't my sister's husband, Louis, which means you also aren't family.
What the heck are you talking about? A fake divorce? That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I don't know where you heard such a strange rumor or if you just made it up, but I would be careful with confronting people like this on such shaky grounds.
There is no point in trying to hide it. I already know all the juicy details.
Huh?
That friend of mine whose child goes to the same school as yours, yeah, she's here today and she told me everything. And apparently, they saw that you were coming to crash the party. She texted me asking, why's your sister and her ex-husband showing up together? Mary's one thing, but what business does Louis have coming?
There's no way that happened.
And that was when I heard all about this supposed divorce of yours. Apparently, the rumor going around the school is that you cheated on Mary and then you two got divorced. Also, she's apparently raising the 5 children all by herself with nothing but government assistance supporting her. Isn't that just tragic?
Well...
So, after hearing all of that from her, I'm lost on what could possibly explain everything. Because I know for a fact that the two of you are still living together and have always acted as if you were still together in front of me.
I can explain.
And today you're trying to attend my wedding as a family? If this isn't a fake divorce, what exactly is it?
Wait, please. I get it, we'll go home. Us and the kids. So, let's forget about this conversation altogether.
Forget about it meaning?
Meaning just that, we forget it and pretend like nothing happened. So don't tell anyone about this.
That's not a promise that I can make, Louis. I'll be reporting this to the appropriate authorities at a later date.
Wait, you can't do that to us, please. Anything but that. We really are at the end of the line financially. We'll be ruined if you turn us in. We need this to keep the 7 of us alive. We'll leave right now. Just don't snitch on us to the authorities.
No can do.
Why?
Anyway, I called the venue and they said they were going to call the police for trespassing. You should start running before you get locked up for that and fraud. Louis, Mary, and their family finally left after trying to barge in on whatever wedding was being held at the venue that day. I apologized to the couple later, but they thought the story was really funny. I actually got along very well with the other George, and we're going golfing together soon. I then did my civic duty and reported their fraudulent activities to the authorities. Apparently, they're being investigated for defrauding social welfare programs by the local district attorney. It's only a matter of time until they're found guilty and forced to repay what they stole. That, paired with the charges of trespassing and harassing the wedding staff, means they're in pretty hot water right now. Their example will hopefully serve as a valuable lesson for their children on how not to behave when they grow up. My wife and I, on the other hand, had a great honeymoon. We traveled all around Europe and had so much fun. And soon we'll be having a child of our own. I would be scared they'd turn out like my nieces and nephews, but my wife is too lovely to let that happen. I can't wait to meet our new baby soon. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. See you in the next one.